today I am so thrilled to be doing a podcast on law of attraction with Phoebe, who has been on the show before. So please help me welcome Phoebe. How are you today?
I'm amazing. Thanks so much. I'm so ready to share everything I've learned about law of attraction and hopefully change some people's lives.
Amazing. So before we dive right in, what is law of attraction?
The law of attraction is a universal law, the same way that we have the law of gravity. But here we are understanding the concept that like attracts like. In other words, your thoughts are triggering what is brought into your life, into your experience. What you think, you receive.
Amazing. Hear your story, your personal stories about law of attraction. When did you start to manifest this?
Yeah, this is difficult to pinpoint a time that it happened because, like anything, it was a very gradual process. So for me, it started when I knew that I wanted to escape life in the UK.
Right.
And I was presented with an opportunity. So obviously, I had put that thought out there. I had put that request out there
Right.
that I wanted a change. I knew I was destined for something different in life. And sure enough, an opportunity was presented. That was to start my own journey online and create online financial location freedom.
Right.
When I joined this is when I started on my journey of entrepreneurship, and linked in with that was mindset and the law of attraction and how to understand it and apply it to my own life. So I began by reading the books. That's what it was. So Rhonda Byrne has the series of 3 books: The Secret, The Magic, The Power. And The Secret is about law of attraction. If you are not a reader, then you can definitely watch the movie adaptation, which is on Netflix. So that's where it began for me. But then I didn't start, I immediately understood and believed it because it just made sense to my whole life, like why I felt so out of alignment. Everything stems down to alignment here. And when I was growing up, I was in the wrong place with the wrong people, and I knew something wasn't matching up with me and my energy. And then that's where it all made sense. Right. But I didn't start applying this until I started listening to Abraham Hicks. Do you know Abraham Hicks?
Yes, I do. Oh my gosh, like you're talking my language here. All of this stemmed from digging into law of attraction. When I read that book, Secret, I knew I need to learn more because something about it felt like, if I truly manifest this, am I going to get it? And I knew by just trying or setting myself towards small goals, I actually start to see that work. And it's truly believing in yourself. Like you can't just magically say, okay, I want a car, but you're not going to work towards it. You have to work towards it.
So yeah, there's a lot that goes into that topic actually, because when we're starting out, when you start reading The Secret, when you start listening to Abraham Hicks, you are going to have these desires, you have wants. But the issue with that understanding, that way of thinking, is that when you want something, that comes from a lack mindset. Wanting something is kind of saying backwards, I don't have something. Exactly. I don't have $1 million, so I want $1 million.
Yes.
And when you are focusing and thinking on what you don't have and what you want, you are creating resistance for yourself. So you are never going to manifest it because you're looking at it the wrong way. Right. So as you go through your practice of understanding law of attraction, you start to recalibrate your thoughts to imagining that you already have it. So,
that's it. I was just getting to exactly. Like that's amazing because that you say that, because it's so important to already feel you have it. So like, for example, rather than saying like something negative that, oh, I don't have it, I need to work towards it, it's obviously going to seem like a mission when you tell yourself that. And if you tell yourself, if you have it and you're manifesting it, naturally, you are going to work towards it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, recalibrating those thoughts from wanting to visualization. It changes everything. The
Right.
reason we visualize is because of vibrations.
Right.
So we were taught in physics in school that every object around us, every human being, everything has a vibration that we can't see, we can't feel, but everything has a vibration. It's physics.
Mhm.
So the amazing power of the human mind is that you can think thoughts and visualize things as if you already have them,
Mhm.
but you have to visualize them so intensely as if you can already feel it, taste it, smell it, touch it.
Yes,
And when you
absolutely.
visualize it that powerfully, your vibration rises to that level as if you already have it. If you're
Exactly.
vibrating at the level of having something, then it is law that you will receive it. You will
Mhm.
attract it just like magnets.
Right. And it's almost like it's already yours, right?
Mm-hmm. And it's
Um,
hard to do. It takes practice. You
it
have to
does take
start and
practice
believe.
because humans are like the way our minds work, it's in such a way that we think more negative thoughts than we do positive. So it's almost like you have to kind of go backwards, with your mind and your sense of self-study, right? Especially with manifesting and law of attraction. It also stems from self-love and talking the way you talk to yourself, right? If you're going to be negative, if you're going to say, oh, it's not possible, it's definitely not going to be possible. But if you're telling yourself, yes, I can do this, yes, it's possible, and yeah, then the world is literally your oyster.
Absolutely. I go a step even further than that. Not just that it's possible, but it's already done. I've already thought and imagined myself having this house, for example.
Right.
So that is it. It is out there, it is done. And then you need to get to that level of acceptance. And that's
Mhm.
also a very difficult part for people because just as you've just said, we've been conditioned from birth that we need to work hard to receive things. We
Mhm.
need to pursue things. We need to sacrifice and put a lot of effort in to receive. And it's just not the case. It's just the world we've been conditioned in,
Right.
which really sucks. But
Yeah,
once you start
definitely.
this journey and you start to learn and realize that it doesn't have to be that way because the universe is always having your best interest. It's always doing everything positive. The universe is only positive energy and it's always there trying to give you what it is that you want. And it's up to you and your vibration to be able to receive it, be
Yes,
open to receive it.
absolutely. Yeah, like it's funny that you say that because with law of attraction, it's almost like, how you said we are conditioned from birth. It's almost like we aren't like the way you kind of live and everything, trying to get that job, do everything. It's almost like you're not doing it for yourself. It's almost like impressing your neighbors or your family or doing it for others. So that sense of sacrifice comes in. A lot
Yeah.
of people are genuinely not happy where they are. And if they are, then that's amazing. But 9 to 5 hustle, rat race, all of that. I mean, I think people are so conditioned to be in that comfort zone. Obviously, in the beginning, it could be that hassle, but then gradually they're conditioned to just kind of accept it. Okay, this is what it is. This is how it is. This is how I'm living. Um, and this is how far I'm going to get, rather than saying, no, everything is limitless. You could go as far as you want to, as you choose to. So really it comes down to a choice.
Yeah, absolutely. I do hold a special resentment for employment in my heart, because, in my opinion, we weren't sent here to this planet to earn and to work for other people and other people's dreams.
Absolutely.
We were sent here to create. And Abraham Hicks says it all the time. We are creators of our own reality. You are not
Absolutely.
here to earn and work and sacrifice. You're here to create the life that you want and fully experience it. And I think that's what really upsets me with people that, well, all of us have been conditioned to believe that we go to school and we study and we go to uni and we get a degree and we get a job and that's it. and we're not being taught what is out there and how to find what makes you happy and
That's
how
so
to
true.
achieve what makes you happy.
That's so true, because what happens is a lot of people who are probably getting A's and, whatever, are, having the highest grades right now in high school. Most likely, they're probably going to be stuck and thinking, what am I supposed to do? Those are the people who are competitive right now in high school, trying to, be that A student, because that's what the world is for them right now.
Mm.
But what they're not being taught is what's going to happen after their high school. What's going to happen after, once they graduate from their undergraduation. What are their goals? What are they going to manifest? So it's almost like all these things, talking about assets, talking about how to make money, none of that is being taught, but what's being taught is how to be a slave, how to run that whole rat race in this world.
Not being taught how to create, not being taught that everything is for you to receive, not for you to produce.
Yes.
I love the analogy that Abraham Hicks uses of, you are watching your life's movie. You're not directing it. You're not in there producing and forcing things to happen, but
Yes.
you are back, relaxed, and allowing and watching this beautiful life story of a movie that you have, and you're creating it with your thoughts. You're not out there.
It's always going to stem down to not finding that happiness. But a lot of people, what they're not doing is turning it around on the inside. Are you happy on the inside, rather than kind of getting things on the outside?
That really links into materialistic and internal things.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. I think when people feel unhappy on the inside, we look for external things that we want to have because we think it's going to bring us happiness. It all stems down to wanting happiness, wanting fulfillment. And for the majority of us, it sucks, it breaks my heart that we think that that will come from money to buy the things that we think will make us happier.
Absolutely.
And we really need to look a lot further on the inside to really, truly what makes you happy. So if you think you want a lot of money, ask yourself the question, why? Why do I want a lot of money? Maybe it's to buy a house. Okay, why do you want a house? Because I want safety and security. Why? If you keep asking yourself why, you are going to chip back way inside to see what it is that you truly want. And 9 times out of 10, you already have it, and you're just not acknowledging that you already have it. It's just people are present. They don't live in the moment. They are not aware of what's happening in this moment. Look at your life right now. What do you have that makes you unhappy? And just think about that for a moment. Maybe it's your job. Maybe it's the people that you are associated with.
Definitely.
And look at the vibrations that they give out. Listen to the words that they use to talk. Are they complaining about what they have all the time? Are they saying that they want things, they want this, they want that, and things aren't good enough? Because the truth is, your vibration is going to match theirs. And for you to start changing that, you need to find new friends.
Yes. Actually, speaking of vibration, I was going to get to that. But before we speak of vibration, I actually wanted to ask you, how do you think one should even start using law of attraction, especially if something that they don't know about? But what is that first thing that helped you get started? Like, is your mood board? Is your vision board? What do you do?
Sure. So I think we already touched on it, because for my journey, it was reading the books first.
Yes.
Then it was establishing a routine, because in this routine, I start every single morning being present. I know it sounds really silly, but as soon as I open my eyes, I smile for starters. I take some really deep breaths and just look around me and think, where am I? What have I got? What can I be grateful for? And then I start the day with an Abraham Hicks podcast or a video. And
that's amazing. Yeah.
So that is definitely my advice. And understand what law of attraction is, and then just establish a really simple morning routine of listening to Abraham Hicks. Any of her stuff, she will blow your mind with what is possible to apply in your daily life. And that's exactly what I did. And that's how I've manifested this life of I'm traveling full time. I work for myself. I have an incredible business that is all about sustainability and health and getting people to create financial freedom. And I manifested this because
Right.
I put that out there just by following those steps, reading the books, listening to Abraham Hicks.
I think it's really about waking up. And for me, it's putting the phone away, like getting yourself together, breathing, taking deep breaths, stretching if somebody wants to stretch, if not, even listening to a podcast, if somebody who does not want to listen. But I think it's really important to also start your day, maybe like not looking at your phone right away. So
Oh, yeah.
what do you do? Do you do exactly that? Like,
that was one of the biggest transformations in my life because my business is run from my phone. So of course I am using it a lot.
yeah.
But then once you establish this beautiful morning and evening routine where it's not an addiction anymore, and you look at yourself and how you feel and notice really simple things like, I have a bed right now, or I wiggle my fingers and my toes and I'm grateful that I have this.
Yeah.
And I don't even think, it doesn't even cross my mind to look at my phone because I'm just so focused on the present. I don't look at my phone until I have given thanks for some things, I've been and had a wash, and I've grabbed a coffee, and I sit down, I listen to Abraham Hicks, I journal my gratitudes and what my goals are. Then I look at my phone because
Like,
I'm
okay.
expecting good things to be coming from my phone.
Definitely.
Once I've set my mind up for success that way in the morning, then I'm just expecting amazing news. I'm expecting money in my account. I'm expecting great news from a relative, or,
And it's so important to write your thoughts down through your journal, manifestation, affirmations. Yeah, I think that's extremely incredible.
Yeah, because the truth is, we're on a journey to find alignment. We want to feel fulfilled, we want to feel happy, and we want to do what feels good. And when you don't feel good, it's because you're out of alignment. And the way that I get back into alignment is by going to the very basics. I get my book out and I write who I am, who is Phoebe, and what does she want, and what does she want to achieve, and what makes her happy. And once I've got clarity again on exactly what it is that makes me happy and exactly what I'm working towards, then you're back in alignment.
That's something that you do every day?
Every single day, because if I don't remind myself of the clarity of my goals and what makes me happy, then I feel out of alignment because I don't know what I'm working towards again.
Absolutely, completely agreed. Yeah, it's so important with everything. And I think it also kind of takes you out of your character as well when you don't feel like yourself. Like, we charge our battery on a regular basis, but how about like, it's so important to charge yourself. So that leaves me to our next question, which was higher and low vibration. Now, what does it mean to have a high and low vibration?
Well, it's what feels good. If it feels good, on a high vibration. If it feels sucky and you're complaining and you're ungrateful and you're moaning and you're unhealthy, that is a low vibration. And whatever vibration you have is what you're going to attract more of. There's no question about it.
Oh, definitely.
So do what feels good. As long as it's not hurting someone else and it feels good, then do it. That is going to raise your vibration. And it's different for everybody. It's different for everyone. What gets you going, what makes you feel high, what gets you uplifted.
And on a daily basis, do you attract all the time higher vibrations? I mean, I'm sure there are days that we tend to have lower vibration.
Yeah,
What
I
do you do
actually
with
love
that?
this. This was on a recent Abraham Hicks publication.
Okay.
We are not robots, we are humans, and we have good days, we have bad days. And something I loved about listening to this lady who speaks so much about having high vibrations, it's the best alignment. That's great, but you can't be there all the time. So when you feel that you're at a lower point, you're upset, something terrible has happened, you've had bad news, you're on a low vibration, that's okay. What you need to do is acknowledge it. Don't fight it and feel like I've got to force myself to be happy. No, you acknowledge it and accept that you are a human being and this is an emotion that we need to feel, because without having those bad days, you would never be able to experience the amazing days. because you have nothing to compare it to. So we
Absolutely.
need the negatives every now and then, and you just need to acknowledge them, because then when you're out of it and you're back on that high vibe again, damn, it feels good, because you
Definitely.
know that that feels so much better.
Absolutely. Another thing I kind of wanted to point out was with higher and low vibration is a company that you keep around. So, something that I know it's almost like when you are around right people, I feel automatically like, okay, if somewhere you're not on the same wavelength as them, somewhere you kind of feel a certain way, there's that sense of anxiety or that weird feeling in your stomach. And I feel often a lot of people avoid that. But for me, I sense it right away. And my
Mm-hmm.
body senses it before my mind could even comprehend. What do you think to that?
Like we said, you're out of alignment. That
Right.
feeling is being out of alignment because you aren't being the person that you are on the inside. You're matching someone else's vibration. You
Yes.
are with someone on a different vibration that doesn't serve a purpose to you. It doesn't provide value to you. So
Yes.
you don't feel right because you're not being your full potential self.
Absolutely.
My history has been a little different to this, and I don't
Mhm.
want to go on too long about it, but I've grown up not really having friends. And I
Right.
know now, and this is why I'm so grateful for this journey, because I've learned and know now that that is because I've never been in an environment that matches the vibration of me on the
Mhm.
inside. I
Mhm.
never made good enough friends, and I was never in a place that made me feel 100% happy. And it just all makes sense now, you know. So
Absolutely.
for me personally, on what you've said, I haven't really been around people like that because I've been so focused on myself and how I feel and finding what makes me feel good, that I've managed to avoid cases like that. Or like I said bluntly before, if it doesn't feel good, I literally cut it out of my life.
No,
I got
definitely.
to that level of self-awareness of what feels good, and I know that I don't deserve anything less. And it's the same for every single person in the world. But again, we've been conditioned that we need to sacrifice, or we have to hang out with this person because they've been my friend for so long, or
Yeah.
things like that.
No, I definitely agree. I think it's so important to finally acknowledge your mind and what your body is telling you, because your body is going to feel it more than anything else. And a lot of people sometimes think from their mind or their heart, not being in a situation like having a bad relationship or having a toxic or being around toxic friends or having a toxic boss, right? So it's really important. Obviously, it's not easy to just cut things off for a lot of people,
No, of course not.
but I think it's really important to also acknowledge that there's so much you could do to make those things work. So, what advice would you have to give to those people where it's really not so easy to kind of just cut it off like that?
Yeah, there is definitely another way, because there are always times where you physically can't cut this person out of your life. It might be your mother, and she really brings you down with her negative outlook on
Yeah,
life, or
sure.
things like that. So there are options, there are other ways, and it all comes down to you being the only one involved in your creation of your reality. So
Mhm.
it took me a while to learn and study and understand this concept and get to a level where other people don't have an effect on you, because you are so clear on who you are. You are so clear on your vibration, and you are so aware of your surroundings and how you feel, that you sorry, you could be around someone with a totally opposite vibration to you, and you can just laugh at it. Like, you can get
Right.
to that point where I love and appreciate this person, and they are in my life, and I'm grateful for it. But I'm at a point where I don't, they have zero impact on my vibration right now.
Right.
And it will practice. My recommendation is, again, listen to Abraham Hicks, because that's all where my knowledge has stemmed from.
Hmm.
You will learn through this process of affirmations and writing down your goals, writing who you are, being clear on you and your alignment and your happiness. And you get to this level of, I can literally look in the eye of something or someone that used to give me a terrible negative vibration. But
Yeah.
now I'm so clear on my own that it just doesn't affect me because I know I am the only one involved in my creation of reality.
Right. And to add to that, I think it's all about protecting your energy as well. So, I mean,
It
not
is, yeah,
so it's almost like when you are around certain energy, certain things, whatever it may be on this planet, I think it's so important to, and it doesn't happen instantly. It takes a while. It takes a lot of mindful practice
it
where
does.
you learn to gradually protect your energy. So say if you're, you know, somehow you go to this event and you're surrounded by some people who are just really negative and talking about their terrible job and things like that. Obviously, I mean, yes, you could cut that off, but you also don't want to be rude about it. Like, okay, this isn't serving me. Peace out. I mean, there are ways you could gradually just listen to them, but at the same time, when you are doing that, you almost you almost learn to put a shield on, and that's
Absolutely.
literally protecting your higher vibration and not to,
Exactly. Like as long as you don't take part in it, you don't drop to their vibration and start
yes.
joining in the conversation. Don't start
It's like, oh
moaning about
yeah,
things.
mine too, by the way. And
Yeah, like don't do that. You can be present there, be present of how you feel,
yeah,
listen to what these people are saying, and internally laugh at the hilariousness of these
of
people
course.
complaining
Yeah.
about the amazing life that they have, you know?
Yeah.
You don't need to say anything to them and argue it. You don't need to take part in it, but
And
you
if they
can be
are,
present.
yeah, and if they are your good friends, I think it's really important to maybe even point out the good that they already have, especially if they're complaining. Sometimes we need to show them the mirror that they are unable to see.
Yeah, you could definitely say, but hey, look at this amazing thing that happened. Or hey, you do have this, so this is something to be grateful for. Absolutely can. But it's also my opinion to never try to force that on someone either, because the truth is,
Absolutely.
if they're not on that vibration, they're not going to
Yeah,
accept it. So
definitely. I have a question for you actually. How does it normally take to manifest something, like especially for you? Like, say, for example, tomorrow you feel like you want to manifest something new, and feel free to throw some examples that has actually happened in your life.
a time limit. This is a brilliant topic because I know so many people that are trying to manifest something. Maybe it's success in their business and they need it for a certain time period. So, what you're doing when you put a time on something is
Mhm,
inadvertently creating resistance for what you're
mhm,
trying to attract.
mhm,
Abraham Hicks talks about this amazing concept of downstream and upstream. So when you are floating downstream, you are completely resistance free and you are ready to accept and allow everything into your experience as you go downstream. But as soon as you start to put a time frame on something, as soon as you start to think of the way that you're going to attract something, all you're doing is creating resistance and pushing yourself upstream. It's hard work, it's effort, and you're not letting things come to you. You're not ready to accept and experience. So,
right,
for me personally, with these time frames, that's something that I don't put any focus on or acknowledgement on whatsoever because I
mhm,
got to a level of complete trust in the
mhm,
universe that this will come to me when it's the right time to. So
definitely.
things have happened for me in all different time limits, all different ones, because at the end of the day, they happened to me when I needed them the most. It was at the
Right.
perfect time.
Yeah, perfect. Sorry, I'm just gonna kind of wrap it up now because my boyfriend has I think we got carried, but I'm just gonna say something here. Um, that's amazing, and wow, it actually brings us closer to our time here. But thank you so much, Phoebe, for talking about law of attraction with us. What are a few words or tips you want to give before we leave?
uh, I think you just need to start on your journey of experiencing. You are the only person involved in the creation of your reality. Be mindful of your thoughts because what you're thinking you attract, and do not create resistance. Allow it. And that's it.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And until next time, I can't wait to have you again.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.